Another video, truth about the IWC, Chuck Roberts. Show you something I got here. See if you can see this. It's from Chuck Roberts. It says, I don't want people thinking something is going to happen and disappoint them. We did that in October. Let's see what else Chuck Roberts writes. So please don't run any more videos until I know what you're thinking and we discuss. Chuck, you fired me. Let me just tell you about disappointment. And let me tell you about truth as I sit in my house. Let's talk about truth and disappointment. You didn't tell the truth about what was going on that night, did you? Here's the truth. A week in advance of that show, I told you that I coach 9-year-old football. That's the truth. And I told you that my kids made the playoffs. Also the truth. I'm also the head coach. And I told you that there's a chance that the game would take place up in North Allegheny the same time as wrestling. I warned you a week in advance. And I didn't show up. Which you knew I would try. And I texted you all day long. Now let me tell you about disappointment. Disappointment that wrestling fans didn't get a chance to see Bubba the Bulldog. Let me show you real disappointment. Walking into my son's room. Eli.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Nothing.
See, look. South Fayette football. Helmet. Eli, what would have happened if your dad would have blown off your playoff football game against North Allegheny and would have gone and wrestled? What would have happened?
I would be very disappointed. I would yell at you. I would do all the scrap to just probably beat you up.
Would you be sad?
Yes, I would.
What about your team?
Team, you would be laying them down.
Yeah, I'd be letting them down?
Yeah.
That's disappointment, right?
Yes.
If Dad would have gone and wrestled and not coached, I've been your head coach for how many years now?
3.
3 years. And if I would have blown that off... Now, do you want to know something, Eli?
Yeah.
Do you know because Dad didn't show up at a wrestling show and coached you and said, do you know that the owner of the IWC fired me? He fired me.
He did?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I came and coached you instead of showed up and wrestled.
Wow.
Pretty weak, huh?
Weak.
Thanks, buddy. See, there you go, Chuck. Real simple, huh? Want to talk about truth? Want to talk about disappointment? That would have been disappointment. And that's also the truth. The sad part is, you know that. There's more truth. There's more truth about what was supposed to happen this year. There was more truth about Jimmy DeMarco and me yet to come. But if you want to tear apart the truth of the IWC, Chuck Roberts, I'm going to share the truth with you. Chuck, maybe we should do it right now. Well, maybe we should do it right this second. Why don't you tell everybody about the conversations you and I had about this maybe being my last year in pro wrestling in 2012? Why don't you tell everybody how maybe this was the year that I was going to retire? Why don't you tell everybody about all I wanted was a one-on-one match with Jimmy DeMarco? And you know something? Let's be truthful about this. Jimmy DeMarco wanted it too. And for some reason, you didn't give it to me. I didn't want a gimmick match. I don't want 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4 crap. All I wanted was me and Jimmy DeMarco. You know why? It would have made money. But for some reason, you didn't want to give it to me. So what did you do? You fired me. Instead of letting me have my last year, and maybe on an outside shot in the organization that I started, having a title run. Do you know, Chuck, that I never, ever had a shot at a title in the IWC? Did you know that? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Maybe you don't care. So what did you do? You got what you wanted. You fired me. I didn't get my last year in the IWC. And all I wanted was a match with Jimmy DeMarco. Too much to ask? You want to talk about disappointment? Still a lot more to say. Still a lot more to say.